What's up?
Welcome back to
This is
Critterpit,
the most special episode.
Critter Nation. We got a
It's
special
finally
surprise
happening.
today.
The most
The
special
most,
episode.
I would
indeed.
say so. The most
We,
important for sure. A
I would
cultural
say so. It'll go
touch
down
point.
in history. This is
Who,
we
who,
got
who are
David
we
on the
joined
pod,
here?
Hey guys,
David.
the legendary.
After how long has this been? Like 6 months now? 7 months?
Yeah, it's been
yeah,
a long time.
Of just build up.
yeah. Well, I'll be more available. So if this one goes well enough, and you want to invite me back, I mean,
If we get the
For
numbers,
sure.
yeah. If we get the
It
numbers, yeah.
all depends on the viewer count.
This one's
of
gonna
course,
get
Yeah.
you guys
but,
to 1,000. I'm just gonna say that right now before the year
Oh,
ends. You guys
shit.
are gonna hit that
Oh
1,000
shit.
mark.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
there's a lot riding on that now.
yeah.
Well,
Damn.
you want to give yourself
It's a
a
big
little bit of
film.
an introduction?
Yeah.
Who is David?
Okay. I'm David. I've just him. I've just graduated from U of A, doing some
Nice.
philosophy, so now I'm looking for some work. See what
Nice.
I
Found
can
it
do
at the
after
Critter Pit.
that. Yeah. I'm
You're our
gonna come work at
consultant.
Critterpit.
Yeah.
Gonna do all the production from now on. Psych.
We desperately need
Anyways,
it.
Yeah.
yeah, I love Letterbox and watching films. So yeah, I don't
Yeah.
actually. How do you guys know me? Did you guys go to the same? What city are you guys from?
I'm from
Edmonton?
Red Deer.
Yeah,
I'm a
I'm
Red
from
Deer boy.
Edmonton.
Okay, because Sam, you know some people I know, but I don't
Yeah,
100% remember you. If we even
I don't think we've ever met before.
okay,
Okay.
See, this is the confusing thing.
Yeah,
Because when this whole saga first started, I assumed David had to have been one of Sam's friends. Had
Yeah.
to have been. One of his
No, I
town
think-
buddies.
we're
just
Letterbox
became
bros. We go way back
Letterbox
on
friends.
that though.
exactly. Yeah, always liking each other's reviews.
Yeah.
That's
No deeper
honestly
bond than
one of the most special bonds you can have on this earth. It's a
Mhm.
It
letterbox
is.
homie. I've lost
Yeah.
so many over the years.
But now we've got some real life Letterbox connections, which is just it's
Right?
crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this is a little intimidating actually getting like a real guest on. Just a person,
Yeah.
not just my buddy or something. It's interesting.
Very much.
We'll be buddies.
Yeah.
We'll be buddies after this episode.
yeah.
We'll hang out.
Exactly.
This
I'll
is
help you
the
guys
start
with your
of a beautiful
production. We're going to
friendship.
become the biggest channel,
Oh
biggest
yeah.
podcast, movie podcast ever.
Letterbox.
That's the goal.
Yeah. Critterpit
We're
number
going to become
one.
Letterbox affiliates, Criterion affiliates.
I think when we first started,
Exactly.
we were going for like the Joe Rogan of the movie world kind of
Right.
thing.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's the bar.
Okay. We need to start like recording stuff, and I don't know, maybe shave your head, go to the gym.
Do a lot of alpha brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go crazy.
Do way too many psychedelics. Just become a monkey.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm halfway there.
At a critter, yeah.
Yeah.
A critter.
So
So,
No.
do you actually listen to Critter Pit?
no, yeah. I'm the biggest. I watch every episode. No,
Oh,
not all
damn.
the time. I'm pretty bad at watching podcasts in general.
That's
fair.
fair. And ours.
Ours
can be rough
is
to
pretty
listen to.
unlistenable. Yeah.
Right.
It's
Can
more
be a little
about the
self-defense.
more about
Self-deprecation,
having
that's
just
good.
the conversations. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I know you guys we talk about our lives. So is that that's the vibe. So what else do you guys want to? Any questions for me? How about that?
Favorite movies? Favorite filmmakers?
Yeah.
Favorite movies. Okay. Well, I really like. I just picked up Le Samurai today, just before I got here. That's
Nice.
one of my favorite movies.
Have you
I
seen,
watched it with a bunch of my friends. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Have you seen it?
No,
I've
I've
not
seen
yet.
Ghost Dog. I haven't seen
Okay.
The
Right.
Samurai.
Yeah. It's kind of like that. Yeah, I watched it with a bunch of my friends, and they aren't really into movies, but I'm like, guys, this is gonna be so cool. It's like he's a samurai with a gun. Like this is gonna be really cool.
Oh,
You guys are
yeah.
gonna love this, and it's like, it's awesome, but it's really slow and kind of like the stoicism of his life is kind of maybe not
Yeah.
fun to watch all the time. So didn't go down too great, but then I rewatched him, and I'm like, yeah, he's literally me. So
Right.
yeah, big moment. Yeah, so I like that movie. I like anything by Altman.
Altman's great. I've been
yeah, like
recently getting into
Nashville.
Altman a lot.
Yeah. Nashville's great.
Yeah,
They're just great hangout
Shortcuts.
movies. Like Shortcuts is good. I watched that one with friends, and we were just like, dude, I hope this never ends. And then the ending happens, and it's like, damn, it's really
Yeah.
Of a
violent.
great film.
Yeah, great movies. And then Kubrick, of course,
Yeah.
can't
Of
be a film
course.
bro without liking one of those guys. So.
Cronenberg.
Yeah, I do like
Cronenberg?
Cronenberg. I like Crash. I was
Yeah.
just thinking about that. I want to rewatch that. Like,
I
there's not many
love
movies
Crash.
where in
Crash
the
is so good.
first 2 or 3 minutes you see the main character eating someone from the back. Like
Right?
that's a unique.
Yeah.
We had a
After
very
getting in a car
special
crash.
we had a
Yeah.
very special screening of that movie with one of our friends who's like
Yeah.
not into, more fucked up or
Yeah.
He
subversive films.
hated it.
Hated it. He was
Yeah.
ranting that whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes
like-
sense. Yeah, a similar
And I
experience.
remember-
Yeah.
I remember when how you said like character eats someone out in the first 3 minutes. He was screaming that as like a negative. It was
Right.
Yeah, he was.
Right.
This whole movie
going crazy.
It's just
It's
sex.
all just sex.
We didn't
It's
prepare
awesome.
him very well for it, though. We
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
We
we
just
not
threw him
we
in the
went
deep
to
end.
Videodrome first. To
Nice.
make him like
Yeah.
Cronenberg because that's just a classic. That one, I think almost anyone
Yeah.
can like that movie. It's really good.
Videodrome
Except-
is so good.
David, the other David, doesn't
Right.
like Videodrome.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sucks.
My roommate, he has a ranking of all the Davids in film.
Right.
Cronenberg is second last.
Wow.
What?
Who's number one?
I know.
Who's number one?
I can check. It might be
Lynch?
himself.
David Lynch. Yeah, himself. David Lean. Who else is
David
Good
Gordon
David
Green, of
Stack.
course.
David Gordon?
Let me check his list.
That's me and David Gordon, that is, will never be friends because of his hatred of Cronenberg. It's too bad blood.
It's a ridiculous hatred. Would you
It is
say
a
that
ridiculous
David
hatred.
Cronenberg is a high-ranked David?
For me,
Yeah.
I'd say so. Not
He
not
does the
above
name
Lynch,
justice.
but yeah. I mean, who's above Lynch, right?
Yeah.
Cronenberg, in my opinion.
Cronenberg. Fair.
But-
fair.
I'm crazy for Cronenberg, bro. I'm obsessed.
What's
You've
your
got all
favorite
the
Cronenberg?
Cronenberg criterions.
That's awesome.
Ew.
What's your favorite
Ew.
Cronenberg?
Okay, it's basic, but like Videodrome is so good, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Videodrome or Crash, Naked Lunch is amazing too. So
Naked
good.
Lunch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I
I like how
really
he
want to
always
rewatch.
bases his movies. Sorry, on like subversive
Okay.
literature.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's- or
Nearly
very often.
all
I think that's cool.
adaptations, like Burroughs and
Yeah. Ballard.
the guy
Yeah.
who wrote Crash. Yeah, Ballard.
Yeah.
Just really weird books. And you ever hear about his process when he's writing his scripts? He talks about how he almost becomes
I
like
used to know this.
he becomes entwined almost with the authors he's like basing the scripts off of, and he feels
Yeah.
like an extension of their writing style, as if he
Yeah.
could like write their next book. It's kind of insane, but I'm all
Yeah.
here for it.
I feel
I
like you
love
can really feel that with like Naked Lunch, especially, where it's
Mhm.
Oh yeah, Naked Lunch is like
fully about the author, right? It's
it adds on, like it's such a supplemental like
Mhm.
yeah,
text, Same with Crash too, almost, because like he'll take the scripts, but he'll also like throw so much of himself and like his own commentary in it. It's never like just a one for one, I find.
yeah.
Mm.
And that's why we love him. That's why we love
Yeah.
Cronenberg.
And he's
Canadian
Canadian.
treasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't get
I
any
did
better than that.
Did a whole presentation on him this
Nice.
semester for school.
Showed our class the exploding head.
Yeah.
Made somebody walk out.
Yeah, that was fun.
Wait, so what
Um,
school are you guys at? Are you guys at U of A or at
We had
No.
RDP, baby.
Red Deer.
Red Deer? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're film production students.
that's cool.
out in Red
That's
Deer.
cool.
Actually,
but,
not a bad program. Pretty solid.
surprisingly
Yeah.
good. We make a lot of movies.
That's
But
awesome.
I started at the U of A, so I was there for a little bit as well. Just-
Okay. And were you doing
Yeah.
film there?
No, I was doing engineering.
Oh, engineering. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I took a
Yeah.
very, very sharp turn.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Yeah, no, it was definitely the right call for me.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it.
What program did you just graduate from?
Philosophy. Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What does a career in philosophy look like?
You have to go back and
What?
do some graduate
Ah.
degrees to actually do a career in philosophy. Yeah. But
But
otherwise,
like
it's kind of you
writing
just
though.
do.
must have
Yeah,
been-
pretty much you just do writing and reading papers, and
Nice.
yeah.
Do you have any like hopes to go specifically into like maybe film criticism or something, or do you have any specific areas you'd like to work towards?
I do think ethics would be one, and then yeah, cultural
Mm-hmm.
studies like books and film, yeah, and music. Just
Yeah.
becoming a writer. Those are some
Yeah.
interests I have. Yeah.
That's
That's
very
sick.
cool.
Well,
Wish you all
Critterpit
the luck.
will plug every paper you ever write.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna really boost the circulation.
It will.
Plug in
It
your
will.
paper on our film podcast Instagram.
Everybody go check it out.
Check out this fire paper that just dropped.
Yeah, guys,
Yeah.
go download it. Go download it, please.
Download the
Cite it
PDFs.
in-
PDFs in bio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
PDF and bio.
Go cite it
Pirate the
somewhere. I don't
PDF.
know where. I don't care. Just cite it, please.
Yeah. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
sick. I mean, I don't mean to flex, but I'm also a published author over here, a published writer. So,
Gee,
Sure
what
is.
do you do?
what was it?
An essay.
An essay, yeah.
Nice.
In the Agora Student Journal.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
What was it on?
pretty big. It was on Power the Dog. Did a
Oh,
scene
nice.
analysis on that film. Love that shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Also-
should submit stuff to Agora. I feel like you could probably get it.
Oh yeah, for sure. You probably have to be a student to do it, but
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the other day
Um,
was a big Agora winner too.
Yeah, published authors here. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
well,
Yeah.
Have you
It
guys
was just-
seen any other German expressionist films? I mean, figure we could kind of work towards the
Yeah.
topic. What do you think?
that's great. Dr. Caligari, of course, or
Yeah.
Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, of course.
Nosferatu.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
Just, I mean, there's such a
Those two, maybe.
great, distinct visual style. I've also seen Metropolis of Fritz Lang and Theo von Harbou. Nazi sympathizer.
Have you seen? So you've seen Metropolis. Have you seen any other Fritz
Yeah.
Lang films? Other than M.
No, this is my only Fritz Lang. Other than Metropolis, this is the only one that I've seen. Yeah, how about you? Are you?
I saw The
experienced in
Big
Fritz?
Heat, which was an American 1950 movie
Mm-hmm.
and noir. It's actually really fucking good, but it
They
feels
hate when
so
directors
American as well. Like it's like cliche. Like it goes between. I think it's been a while, but it goes between like some kind of just like work stuff, and then he gets to the home. And it's like so 1950s, and it's like airy, like it's like hilarious. And then, but then the kind of not to spoil, I guess to spoil a little bit of the movie is that there's like an explosion one time near the climax of the movie, and that whole like nuclear family thing literally blows up. So I think that I just love his movies. It's a good one, so I'd recommend you check it out. But
Yeah,
I will definitely add it to the list.
I'm interested in going through his Dr. Mabuse series. It looks
Yeah.
really interesting, having this just character recurring in so many early films.
Are those in his silent movies as well? Or
Yeah, I think these are the German era. So.
Okay.
yeah, and was made at a
Yeah.
weird time. That's like, was it his last film in Germany, or let's see?
1931.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was his last German film, but it was his first like spoken sound film, which is crazy because it's used so effectively in this movie, and it's his first try.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't think it's
like
the last.
scarily impressive. How well sound is used. I feel like that's something we're going to talk about a lot.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Absolutely.
That's kind of what this movie is famous for in the criticism world, other than it's like kind of
Nazi Germany.
premonitions about Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
I wrote a paper about all this last semester, so
okay.
Ethan's ready to go.
Perfect.
Locked and loaded.
I actually didn't look over my paper I wrote about this.
Oh,
So I was
shit.
trying to
We got
rewatch the movie
papers.
this morning. We got 2 papers.
The only one
Damn.
who hasn't written a paper on it.
Yeah, Sam's over here
bad.
unprepared.
I wrote a paper on Metropolis, so we can talk about
Okay.
Metropolis.
There you go. Yeah,
I think that's fair. Is it in the collection?
I don't know
Metropolis?
if
I
it
don't think
is.
so.
Yeah,
Which is
Metropolis
kind of
great
absurd.
though.
but
yeah, maybe the most
Metropolis looks
iconic
so
movie.
good.
Yeah,
the
Most
symmetry
iconic
in that
sets,
movie is
maybe.
striking.
yeah,
Unlike all the other German expressionist movies that we've seen, at least, as far as I know,
which are
like
much more spiky.
yeah, that's kind of the style. The
Ah,
expressionist style is like spiky, angular stuff, and
Yeah,
Metropolis
yeah.
is just the
Except
total
what if
opposite.
Wes
It's like
Anderson
future.
made a? Yeah,
What if Wes Anderson made a sci-fi
Made
movie in the 1920s?
yeah.
Good God. Are we big Wes Anderson film fans in here? Or?
I,
I'm
I'm
kind of
pretty
a
big on
hater.
Wes Anderson. I like him.
Okay.
I gave Asteroid City 5 out of 5, which is
Jesus.
kind of
Okay, you're the
crazy.
only
Asteroid
person
City
I know
was
who liked that
kind of
movie.
sick. I kind of
Okay, you
like
guys
it
are
too.
hipsters for real.
You're not
But
an
for the
Asteroid
most
City
part,
fan. You're a hater.
I haven't seen it. I'm not a.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how much I hate Wes Anderson. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh
for the
yeah.
most part, I'm a Wes Anderson skeptic though. I just
Okay.
find it so overbearing in style and just so annoying sometimes, and just so style over substance a lot of the time, especially in Isle of Dogs. That was the first Wes Anderson I saw, and I was way too young. And it was overcoming and instilled in me just a gag reflex to Wes Anderson.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Sorta.
Wes Anderson
Even
was like the first arture director that I kind of watched, like, and realized that somebody was
yeah,
like making this movie, that kind of thing. So
Okay.
yeah.
for that, I like Wes Anderson a lot. He's my gateway
That's
drug into movies.
that's me
Gotcha.
with Tarantino, man. It's me with Tarantino.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I just
Yeah, I
find
just had a
Wes just annoying sometimes, but I like most of his movies, so it's a weird dichotomy. I just
It's
want to
fun.
see him develop and change. I just want to see him break out a bit of it.
I think it would be interesting to see Wes Anderson do like a different writer's script, like,
Yeah,
because I
I'd
think he
love to
writes all
see
his own stuff. Just
what
yeah,
I really loved actually. I really love the Rat Catcher, the short he did for
right. Yeah, Roald
that,
Dahl
because like, dude, seeing a little bit of the horror vibes can get
for
into
like
with his
2
style.
seconds. 2 seconds of horror.
It's like, dude, wait a minute, you're cooking with that.
Yeah,
That's something there, man. Let's see what you can do with that. Let's stop doing the whatever the fuck we've been doing. Do
quirky
something new.
dramas. Yeah,
Yeah. There's
I
only
would
so
love to
much
see him do horror.
quirkiness I can allot in my life, and Wes Anderson takes up way too much of that.
Yeah,
Dude, I
yeah.
watched fucking Carrie last night. That might
Oh
be the
yeah,
best movie of all time, dude.
Carrie's
Holy
great.
dude, it's
shit.
amazing. I love Brian De
Holy.
Palma. That's
I'm
Yeah,
another.
getting
me
into
too.
him, man. I watched Blowout and then I watched
Yeah,
Carrie.
Well, it's so good,
yeah.
right?
Carrie is so good. Why can't every
Have you?
movie be shot like that movie, man?
Yeah,
So much fun. So
But
good.
Diopter, they got
the
that.
Diopter.
That's all
Diopter.
over that
That
movie.
shit drives
All
me
over
In
that
every
crazy.
film.
movie
I
he
love.
does, dude. It's
He loves it.
Yeah.
it's like such a cool thing to have as your trademark. Like it's
Yeah,
weird that wouldn't become someone
Yeah.
else's trademark earlier.
yeah.
I he just that dude can manipulate the frame, can just do the craziest things. Like that massacre sequence at the end has to be top 10 scenes of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Just the
It's
build up to
crazy.
that with all the suspense and then just how it goes down and then all the frames within frames and all the
Yeah,
cutting. The colors, it's
yeah. The mise
fucking
en
cinema.
scene in like his films is usually really
Yeah,
good.
just so
Yeah,
iconic. Like that room in Blowout, the
Yeah,
recording room,
and
the prom
and the
room
intro
in Carrie.
scene where it's like the camera going through the locker room and it's all like
Yeah,
airy and misty, and then it's kind of like pretending like
yeah.
it's kind of like sensual, and then it becomes this
yeah.
horror. He always brings
It's
in
like
like a kind
psycho
of a
vibes.
gag into anything he does,
Dude,
which I
that's
love.
what I really loved about this, because this is like I thought it was actually a really effective horror. I was getting pretty eerie, like creeped out, but like it gets so silly. It's
Yeah,
like
It does.
one of the silliest movies I've ever seen. Like there's that
Well,
whole bit where the dudes are shopping for like suits, and it just
yeah,
turns into like a rom-com for 5
yeah,
minutes,
yeah,
and I
well,
yeah, and
even like
absolutely love it.
up to
the
the
mom
final
who's supposed to
massacre.
be
Yeah,
scary is like so camp at the same time. There's so many camp
yeah,
moments.
Yeah.
Like they're all kind of at gym class as well. That felt very like
Oh yeah,
teen
yeah.
yeah,
film
That was a
movie
whole
kind of
montage,
thing.
man.
Yeah,
That was a whole montage. It was awesome.
yeah.
Like I'm in love with this movie, man. And just the main actress they got for that, Sissy
Spacek.
Basic.
Spacek, yeah. Oh my god, just her look is perfect for that. It's so
It is.
freaky looking. Like
He is.
some people can just naturally bulge out their eyes way too much. Ugh, creepy.
Yeah. Have you guys
Awesome.
seen Phantom of the Paradise?
I've
No,
not.
not
It
yet.
looks insane, dude. Just that
It's
like cover on
amazing.
Letterboxd is
I had to
awesome.
show all my friends that movie the day after I watched it, which doesn't happen too much. It's it's also a Canadian. There's a Canadian story there, which we don't have to get into too much. But basically, when it came out, Winnipeg had kept it, and it was like kind of like it kind of flopped, but in Winnipeg it didn't, and
Okay.
it was kind of like the Rocky Horror Picture Show,
right?
Where you come in dressed as a character, and so they did that with this movie, and they just watch it incessantly, so it stayed there for like 2 or 3 years in the theaters.
That's awesome.
It definitely looks
single-handedly kept the movie's reputation alive, as far as I know, because it kind of had bombed elsewhere. So
it looks like a cult movie for sure.
Shout out Winnipeg for
Winnipeg.
that. Yeah,
first good thing Winnipeg.
Neil Young.
Cinema alive.
What else they got?
Yeah,
they got Neil
Blue
Young.
Rail.
They got some other stuff. Sorry.
Yeah, Blue Rail.
Yeah.
I also watched mid-90s last night. You guys seen mid-90s?
No.
Yeah, I like mid-90s.
Kind of mid.
Damn.
I think mid-90s for me came at like a very
if I
crucial
saw this
point in my life. Like I watched it in grade 11. I watched it in grade 11 when I was like hanging. Like we had like a little kid who would hang out with us too, and we were all school skaters. Yeah. So it was like, oh my god, we can't.
Much?
No, but it was much like it was like a bit of a wake up call. Like, oh, we're responsible, kind of thing.
Damn, you guys just had a little kid kicking around.
Yep. Shout out.
Damn,
George.
you've lived lives, Sam. Lived lives.
Some life, yeah.
It's not my favorite movie though. I think like some parts really hit, but for the most part, it's just fledgling and doesn't really make much of any of a point, really. I don't know.
Yeah.
Very, very underdeveloped characters too. And the way it ends is kind of like the most obvious fucking annoying shit.
You weren't crying when they're all in the hospital watching the movie they made. You're like, oh, that's me and my friends.
And I'm sorry, I want to spoil this too much for you, David, but like,
no, it's okay.
The ending of the movie, the mom comes in and these kids, I guess they are kids, but they nearly killed her son, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, but they're waiting for him in the hospital room. That's cute. We can be happy. Let's go be a happy family." It's like, dude, they nearly fucking murdered your kid.
And it's like 20 minutes ago, or like 10 minutes ago, they tried to murder your kid.
So close to killing your kid. They have gotten this kid fucked up. Like, oh my lord.
But maybe they've learned their lesson.
That was so unbelievable. I did really like Ray though in that movie. That character is really solid, and I wish he got a lot more screen time.
Yeah,
he was really solid.
I think it's mostly non-actors in that movie too. Like they're all skaters.
I think from what I was reading, Ray is like a skater icon kind of.
Yeah,
that's what he does for his career, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I know Sonny Soljic, the lead character of that, he is a skater as well, and he's in God of War. Like, he's the little kid in that.
I was the whole time I was trying to I was racking my brain. Where do I recognize this guy from? I recognize his voice. That's what it was. And and the guy who plays Ray is known for his association with the hip hop collective Odd Future.
Oh,
and he's also in Loiter Squad. You guys ever watch Loiter Squad?
No,
I have not.
Classic Adult Swim right there. But yeah,
cool.
Shall we?
Movies out there.
Pivot.
Shall we segue in? Well, we got to do a good segue, dude, into the topic. This is too awkward.
Can any
you know
of you
another
whistle?
great movie is? Salo.
Salo is a great film.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I was gonna watch it. Your review of it last night.
No, that's a terrible one to watch.
Oh, really? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't have YouTube on my phone because I would watch it too much, so I just go on my Safari, right?
Yeah.
And I search up through there, so it's kind of like putting the process a step back, but it doesn't actually stop anything, so it's stupid. But anyways, I couldn't watch it because it's age restricted, so I don't know what happened.
Yes, it is. We just talk about a lot of child sex acts.
Right.
What else to discuss with Salo? That's a bad ep though.
It's a really bad ep. And we got like 7 people in. Yeah.
We famously kind of got backlash for that episode too.
Oh, okay.
From real people. Like
real people.
Yeah.
We had just your friends, like people who just came across the channel and started hating it.
We had a Taylor Swift stan account on Instagram hit us up with like a dead ass like four paragraph
Review.
response to the
Yeah.
episode, just
Maybe
kind of tearing us apart.
maybe we could do a re-review.
We
I
do
That's
think
the
need
that'd
to
be
do
game
a
plan
re-review.
a good
eventually.
re-review with some
Like
fans,
an
some lovers
actual
of the movie, and some haters, and you can get
We
the
could bring on the Taylor Swift Stan account.
yep.
exactly. Are
That
you a
would be
lover
fast.
of Solo, David? Do you love that movie?
I do actually really like that movie, and I don't know. I think
Why?
it's one of those movies that's so unique. First of all,
It
and
is,
maybe for a
yeah.
good reason. I also think
Yeah.
it's a movie that like if you're in like a I don't know, it's not very like it's not very film critiquey of me to say, but I think it's one of those movies that can like help you realize the importance of being moral in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
if you watch that level of evil, just like as a personal thing, I'm like, okay, well I gotta go do some good acts now, you know? Like
Yeah.
it just has that feeling for me. And then also I think it's really interesting to see how
it is.
they try to like desecrate everything holy that society upholds, and the way they try to do it and how it's ultimately like so unfulfilling for them. I feel like that's what I took away. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm misreading the film, but
No, that's
part of it
for
I
sure.
think
is
it's
like
very
it's
actually
like
agreed.
yeah. And another thing that I found really interesting about that movie is how they can't just like be turned on or anything. They have to like have these stories, these really dark stories told to them that are fucked up to get them to feel anything. So like that kind of stuff too about being desensitized and the importance of like narratives and our desire. Some interesting stuff to look
into.
That's
a very
there.
very good look at it. I will say when I watched Solo, I've only seen it once and was definitely not looking at it in any kind of real critical like way.
Right. You were looking at it from like the shock movie.
Basically, yeah.
Okay,
it was so I would like to rewatch it with a more critical eye rather than just like, ew, what's going on?
Yeah.
I think my issues with the film can be boiled down to like just it not being enough substance for how much you have to endure, because like it's just kind of consistently the same thing throughout, and there's just no characterization for the most part on any of the victims. There's so little to engage in, and it's such a big asking point how much brutal violence you have to put up with.
That's fair.
In my opinion, so little like genuinely interesting introspection back. Except for that like last third. In the last third, I think you get some like some more interesting like analysis with just some more of the framing of the story, like with the detachment of like what it's called, binoculars, right?
Yes, yeah.
And then
the
like the dancing with the child soldiers. It's like it gets a little more interesting. We get a little something, but it's far too late in my opinion, and too little too late. But this is a point I tried getting across in the Solo app, but I was kind of getting drowned out because there's so many people. But I think it's kind of a film which is enhanced by the tragedy around it, unfortunately, because you're familiar with the director getting murdered like right after this film came out by allegedly like fascist sympathizers or whatnot. Is the story, which I think in a way it's shitty, but like that kind of like makes the film better, because it shows that what he was talking about is still very much alive, and that he actively died for this art, which I think shit, that's
sucks.
a way to prove a thesis right there. Fucking murdered for your art.
Apparently it's a very nice place to visit. It's what John Waters told us, the place where Pasolini was murdered.
John Waters.
Oh wow.
Oh,
I have to see some John Waters movies. I've seen one, but I own Pink Flamingos and I still haven't seen it. So
you should watch
Which
Pink
one
Flamingos.
Had you seen?
Multiple Maniacs.
Is that the one we watched, Sam?
I think we watched
Female Trouble.
Female Trouble,
okay.
And Crybaby.
And Serial Mom.
It's so trashy, but it's a lot of fun.
Oh, they're the
The
best.
same kind of ideas are used as well, but I think it's a lot more tame than Solo. But there's a lot of similar ideas about like desanctification of culture and challenging Christian morality and stuff. I think that's something there.
With John Waters movies, though, I don't know. Like it feels like it's like his friends, whereas with Pasolini, it's like actors. He made them do that. With John
they
Waters,
were all models.
They would have
I don't
done
know
that.
that.
Like,
Wikipedia is a great resource, but they're all models.
Were they minors?
They were all 18.
Okay, because I've seen it for so long that people tell me that they were minors in that movie, and that automatically, in my opinion, kind of
Yeah. No, they're like points. They're 18. They're models, so they're all comfortable being naked.
Yeah,
and
apparently it was a lot of fun to make.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I think it's a weird thing where it's like when something's so traumatizing, it can also that those kind of or like serious seeming, it can be fun to like just have. Like,
I would pay so much money for like a solo blooper reel, like behind the scenes of them like goofing off and having fun, like the girl doing like the shit eating scene and then like breaking down laughing. That'd be so good. It'd be so great.
That scene where which libertine is it? The guy who basically squats down and takes a shit and makes her eat it. Like that's the first time that the shit happened. That scene is hilarious at the same time as it is like so disturbing because you watch him squat down and you're like, what's happening? And then you just turn around, there's like a shit on the floor and you're like, okay. The way it was framed and then like executed made me kind of laugh a little bit. Like it's a weird. I know. I guess I'm an effed up guy. I'm a little bit twisted. Okay.
Our boy Graham had an interesting take on the film. He believed the film wasn't violent enough.
Okay. Yeah.
We didn't get far enough.
It was too boring.
Yeah, pretty much.
That could be fair, I guess.
He didn't realize that the characters were supposed to be children. Like I was his understanding as well. Yeah.
So it's a good one. So I mean, it's a good one. We got to do a review, and
absolutely,
I would actually be so down. Actually,
yeah,
cool.
Actually, take notes and do a proper analysis.
That means I'll have to watch Solo for the 4th time, which would suck.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow, that's impressive.
Is it impressive?
It's
a freak.
I watched it for the first time in high school because I'm a fucking emerging cinephile, and it's Solo. I have to watch it. It's a dare movie. Yeah. Second time, me and my friends were doing like a movie month challenge, and one of those cocksuckers threw that on, so I had to watch it again. Right?
Yeah.
No choice.
Yeah.
And third time, me, Sam, and Jake, and Matt watched it on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
so
on Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Wow. That must have been really.
It was a boys'
powerful.
night.
Boys' night on Valentine's Day. That's unfortunate, guys. Sorry to hear.
I'll be showing Danae Solo this year, Sam.
This year.
Yeah.
Bring her over.
The tradition. Bring her over to the movie night.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if I'm trying to think of a segue? What if Fritz Lang made Solo? Yeah. Holy shit, that'd be really cool, guys. What do you think?
That would be cool.
Was beat to death in the streets for M. What if?
Yeah. Wow.
What else? That would be sad.
Yeah.
That would be sad.
That was a pretty good segue. Our segues are normally quite shit. Yeah.
I was asking
go directly.
If any of you guys could whistle, right? Because we could do like 10 seconds of silence, and then you could do the Kingdom,
Hall of the Mountain King.
In the Hall
of the Mountain King. Yeah, and just but I can't whistle.
I can't, unfortunately. Sam?
Here's a good segue. I can whistle, but here's another good segue. Do you know Peter Lorre also can't whistle? So
wow,
the whistle was
what a
Fritz
fucking
Lang.
Poser.
Wow,
fucking poser, loser, idiot.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's crazy.
I can't watch this movie again. I have to put down a half star as well.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Everyone go to their letterboxes.
Yeah,
movie.
Change it accordingly.
Change it to a 4. I think I had it a 4.5. Then my friend watched it. I'm kind of like, shit, maybe it is a 4. And then I rewatched it. I'm like, yep, 4.5.
That's a 4.5. Yeah, I gave it that as well.
This is a tight movie, boy.
It sure is.
Okay, so let's talk about what we love about the movie. What's your and you got one thing, one scene, one feature of the movie. We'll all go down the line here, and then we can go to the next. Then we can just talk about it for whatever. What do you think?
Ethan, you can go first.
Peter Lorre's eyes. I love Peter Lorre's eyes.
That's
so creepy. Ooh.
Yeah.
And just so much can be said in those eyes. And I think he's pretty much the protagonist of this film, right? Like that's something I found really interesting, and cut me off if I'm going too far with this, but like there's not really like many solid characters in this, right? Who get much screen time. It's much more about like a City as a character, which I thought that's what I'm changing it to. I love City as character. That's what
okay. You got 2 things, cheater.
Yeah.
I really love the collection of beggars. I just think that's such a fun idea.
Yeah.
Like catch him. It reminds me a lot of like the John Wick movies, and I feel like they got a lot of inspiration from this.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite thing of this film.
It's smart. It's practical decision as well. Good writing.
It is like very good writing.
Good solution to the problem.
Yeah.
I would say
the whole time you're like, how are they going to get this guy? There's no way.
Yeah.
The Vegas.
I would say I'm going to not say sound because that's what we're going to talk about next probably. But I really liked the use of montage and sound bridges, which is kind of related. But basically you have someone talking on the phone, or usually it's on the phone, and then you have a montage of what they're talking about in the background. So like when they're doing the investigation, and he's just talking. It's like the secretary talking to the commissioner.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're doing this and that, and we're searching through we're like combing every part of the city to find evidence and this and that. And so you see them going through like fields and all this other stuff. And I think that really adds a lot. I think it's a great way of telling a story.
It does.
What I'll say about the sound real quick before I wrap back around to something is just like this movie has like all the modern like sound, not is archetypes the right word? Functions, like forms, just which seems so simple, but when you look at this in context, is just some of the most impressive shit. Just how much innovation and like
first time
set
using
the standard.
Right? Just like understanding of how to effectively use sound.
Yeah,
it's like
how this will reach the audience, right?
Yeah.
But we should do a synopsis before we go too deep. You wanna,
Sam, you go ahead. No, Sam, you go ahead.
Okay. So we are in small town Germany. I forget which town exactly, and there have been a series of child murders. And that's kind of our setup. We are then introduced to this mother and a little kid. She's gone off to school. But
little Elsa.
Yeah, little Elsa Beckman. And on her way home, she runs into a man whistling in the Hall of Mountain King. Nothing suspicious or weird about that at all. He buys her a balloon from a blind man, gives the blind man a little bit more money, and then they go off, and Elsie is never seen again.
What could have happened?
What could have happened? Her mother is, of course, worried, and this then really sends the whole town into a frenzy of there's been a murder. There's been several murders at this point.
Another murder,
yeah.
It's like 8 at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this one of the first serial killers in film?
It is.
Be the first, if not.
It is one of the first serial killer films, and it's one of the first like proper procedural serial killer films.
And so this ties into Salo. I just want to find the tie in here with Salo. Children being exploited.
Children being exploited.
Yes. Okay, there we go.
It
was actually a smart segue. Smart segue.
Yeah. Smart segue. Took us a little while, but we got there.
We got there.
Yeah.
We're pod kings.
We are pod kings. I don't know. There's a lot to this movie.
Where do we even start?
Somebody else should take
sound.
over.
Should we just start on sound? Just to.
Yeah,
I think the synopsis was good.
Yeah, I think
that's all we need. Thing about this movie that you really got to know. Like it.
Everything.
Okay, Ethan's back.
Ethan cut up for a second. Go back.
Say it again. Oh no, he might just be gone.
Okay, we'll carry it for a little bit until he figures it out.
He'll figure it out. He'll be good.
All right.
But yes, I think Ethan was going to say sound is everything, and it truly is in this movie. Although I don't think there's a score, or at least I didn't. Yeah, no score, which is very interesting. Ethan's back.
Hello, Ethan.
Am I back?
Okay. Yeah, there's not a score, and that almost never hurts the movie. The one time it might was when, like, you could have some kind of cool background music in a few scenes where it's procedural stuff and there's no voiceover going, but usually it's a voiceover in the background when they're doing montages, or it's just characters talking, or it's dead silence, which or it's just
the use of dead
ambient noise, which also is pretty cool to hear.
There's that scene where the police were combing the entire city, and I can be heard, right? I'm paranoid. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
They're combing the entire city. A lot of movement, cars going on, and it's dead silent.
Yeah.
No sounds at all.
No room tone even. It's just pure quiet.
Yeah.
What was it broken by? It was broken by them breaking into the criminal hideout, like bursting in there.
Into
when
the club.
It's really interesting. Love it,
so,
man.
I think one thing about sound, it doesn't it drives the entire movie. Like every plot point in the movie pretty much has a relation to sound. So let's talk from the start. You can hear kids we get the perspective of the mother character, right?
A man in black getting them.
And you're supposed to be able to hear sorry.
They're just singing about a man in black getting them was specifically the song.
Yeah. They're singing a song, right? And she can hear the song. And then they're like, stop that noise. And it's like, it's better we can hear the kids, right? Because then we know they're there. And so she's waiting. She hears kids coming up the stairs. And it's like, where's Elsie? Not there. Damn, the clock's going off in the background, kind of building suspense, like building anxiety. And then, we see the ball bouncing against the wall. And then that's a really good tie-in to, we get to see the poster that the ball's bouncing against, right? We can see the setup of this. There's this murder, and here's the reward. And then we get this amazing shot of
the silhouette.
Yeah, it's a silhouette, right? And it both shows and obscures the murderer. So we never get to see the murderer until we're not sure who it is, but we get this shot of him during the montage when it's the linguist psychoanalysis guy describing the characteristics of the murderer, and then we get him in the mirror, and we're not sure who that is. If I've seen it a few times, so obviously not. But if you maybe are seeing it for the first time, you're not sure exactly who this is. Maybe it's like a caricature of who he's talking about, but no, it's the murderer. But so from the start you get this sound. So you get the leitmotif of him singing, of him whistling as well to like kind of drive the murder, and then you get the blind balloon salesman is integral to the plot, right?
Yeah, he is.
So you wouldn't expect that comes back.
Yeah.
Man. And how sick is that? Introducing the serial killer, the villain, with a silhouette over his own bounty poster. That's badass as fuck. I hate to call a child serial killer badass, but come on. He's clean with it. That's sick.
Yeah. So then he's... Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
He's identified later by the balloon salesman, by his whistling.
Whistle.
And then sound plays another crucial role when he's hiding up in the attic.
He's trying to make a makeshift key to get out.
Yeah. So,
going back to that opening sequence, I love how long like we hold on the mom, right? Because like by modern kind of genre trappings, we kind of know the setup, we know what's happening. But like looking at this in context, right, of this time, this is kind of a new film for this time, right? This police procedural serial killer thing, and they just they hold in that suspense so long, the mom, and it really is tragic because we cut to those just inserts of like the empty plate set for the child, right?
Oh god,
the ball rolling, the balloon going up to the
the balloon in the telephone wires might be
the
most disturbing image of the film for me. It's the one that stands out. And that's a montage. It's just a montage over her mother's voice screaming out for her, and then silence, and it's just haunting. That's great use of silence.
The children's laundry like flapping in like the attic. They have all the children's laundry like set up on lines. I thought that was like really evocative imagery. Like that's great. Just so good. Like that speaks volumes. And I also like having to be hidden away, you know. And I also love they use this shot like repeatedly throughout the film of like the spiraling staircase going down from the top floor down, and they cut back to it a few times and it's just completely quiet. And I just think it's so good just for like, especially this mother character, this situation. It's awesome. Loved it.
Yeah.
This movie looks and sounds great.
Yeah. And talking about like no real characters, like the mother doesn't really come back in the story as far as
no, not at all.
And we're not even introduced to her. I don't know if we get her name. I don't think so, but
I don't think so.
Yeah, so like there's not a lot of characterization. The blind man we don't really know anything about him other than that he's blind and he sold a balloon. He comes back though, at least in the story. But yeah, there's not really any characters. I guess you could say that like
Loman,
Loman,
police.
Loman, I was gonna say.
And then the safe cracker. the safecracker, the
Which
leader
I
of
don't
the
I don't think we get a name for him either. He's just the safecracker, right?
yeah.
It's great. I love that little gang.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well,
They're so
let's
sick.
talk about that scene where it's cutting between their conversation and the
Oh
police
yeah.
conversation. That's really
Intercutting there
amazing editing right
is
there.
amazing.
Yeah.
Just the
Um,
parallels between these two factions, it's
Yep.
awesome. And just the use of like the dialogue cutting, so the dialogue like doesn't match up, but like flows between these two scenes and
Yep.
builds upon each
Yep.
other. Like
Yeah.
that
It's
feels
like they're having a
just
conversation with each other through the editing.
exactly.
It's great.
And it feels like this is kind of like an accepted mechanic of filmmaking now. I feel like what we're seeing here,
Yep.
it's not that crazy, but looking at it in
Back
context
then.
of the time, it's like you doing this and this is still what we're doing. Like how crazy is that to
Yep.
think about?
Yeah.
Yep. No, it's a really impressive scene. You get to see some of like the very similar intentions going on,
Oh yeah.
and you get to see like the very interesting thing happens with the criminals. We're criminals, but we're organized, we're respectable, we're doing it to
Yeah,
survive. This guy is just like
they have
pathological, right?
they have
Yeah.
moral kind of like positioning,
Yeah.
which is interesting when you get into the kind of like Weimar Germany kind of angle
Yep.
of it.
Yep.
But I still have a few more things to say about sound.
Yeah, let's go back
No
to that.
soundtrack,
Yep.
I love that choice. Like the only music we hear is like the harbinger of death. Love that.
Yeah.
They use synchronized sound, as you mentioned earlier, the mirror shot of just like him staring in the mirror, and you have the psychologist report of his profile, and like it's just so cool. Fritz Lang ahead of his shit, and a lot of off-screen sound with Hans the killer, just really menacing, just out of frame, just hearing him out there, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's great.
There's an
shit.
interesting shift when you go from having him in a silhouette and he's kind of imposing to seeing him as like the vulnerable, bug-eyed,
he looks
scared
like
man,
a boy,
right?
baby
Yeah.
face.
Even though like he's a killer throughout the entire movie, like you can't help but kind of sympathizing with him. You're like, oh, I feel a little bad.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's out of his
Especially in that,
control what he does, right?
report.
So it's like, how does a society deal with someone like that? And that's still an important question to ask even now, right? So I think it has a lot of timeless aspects about it that go into its themes and its writing. But I mean, it just in terms of like pure craftsmanship, it is a standout film. Like it's no wonder he calls it his like kind of magnum opus film.
Yeah.
I have anyone listed as sound? Letterboxd. Paul Falkenberg. Who are you?
Oh, another interesting sound piece, and this is just for fun. Like it's not an important thing, but there's that scene where it's the organ grinder. You remember that one? It's very short, but there's an organ grinder, and there's a homeless man, and he's covering his ears, and it's silent. He opens his ears, and then he hears the music.
Yeah.
And so we just get, for no reason, this man's perspective as what we hear.
Yeah.
We take on his perspective for this scene. And it's really interesting that it's not motivated by anything. It's just a cool effect that he wanted to experiment with, and he just put it in the movie. And it's like
there's
awesome.
Some really interesting things like that. Like there's a few points in this movie where the camera work was just like super expressive out of nowhere, and like
the one where he's in the window, right? That one's a really cool scene where you get to see all the kind of like lights and reflections around his face, and then you get to see the girl in the mirror that he's looking at. And you get to see him tremble, and it's like great acting
with all the cutlery, like framing his face.
Yeah.
But I was speaking to, there's a scene very early on when the police are like interrogating two guys, and they're arguing over what the color of a hat is. And they start shouting red, green, and the camera will cut like directly, like a medium one shot back and forth between them as they shout, and it just comes so out of nowhere. It is so fun and like and expressive. It reminded me of Carrie almost, just how like it just the tone switch.
Just how kinetic it became.
And there's another thing later on when it's Lohman, I believe, and he was talking about it was Artisans, which I think was the cigarette brands, and he was saying it like enunciating. He was like Artisan, and every time he would, the camera would like slowly creep in on him. It was so expressive, so much fun, and I wasn't expecting that at all. But I love those little moments, just Fritz having a little fun with it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
makes you mad. You can't be good at both. You can't have sound and great visuals.
Yeah.
You know, especially if it's
And
your
a
first
script,
time doing
and
sound.
acting and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, because he co-wrote this script, right? Him and
was it Nazi wife one?
I think it was one with his Nazi wife.
Yes, it was. Hey,
his wife.
Yeah,
was
she Nazi sympathizer.
Oh yeah,
Damn.
have you heard the?
Oh right,
famous...
yeah, that's right. I knew that had some relation to Metropolis. She wrote that, right?
She did, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Metropolis? Not Metropolis. Which was the one he got like booted from the country, or had to run from the country from?
Might have been Doctrine of Abuse. That's like 1993.
Yeah. I think it was.
That's when he left. So
because that one had a pretty big kind of like anti-Mad Men kind of like leader,
right?
Kind of slant, and it could be read as a pretty critical of the Nazi regime.
Hitler.
Yeah. Maybe we should talk briefly about how this relates to Nazism, how it might anticipate some of the authoritarian trends in.
So this is 31.
Weimar.
Yeah.
Nazis were pretty firmly around 31, right?
I think they come to power in 33. I'm not sure.
I think they're still kicking around.
But they're still kicking around. They're becoming a nascent movement still.
That Adolf Hitler, he's a troublemaker. You know, he's making a name for himself at this time. So this movie has a lot of analysis of the times in Germany. Kind of just what I see is a criticism of the Weimar regime as like inefficient, right? Like it sees, or not like the film doesn't. I guess it does suppose this, but it also supposes that like the answer to that is also kind of violent and awful and not good either. But like the police and their procedure and kind of their inefficientness don't get anywhere, right? Is seen as like the government's just ineffectiveness to rule at the time, just bad shit. And then the
police do they figure out.
Yeah, they would have caught him if the other guys didn't catch him. So it was kind of interesting to see that they were both on the right track at the same time. That's a cool.
It certainly took the beggars less time, but the cops, they would have got him eventually.
Yeah,
and the mafia in this movie, which actually has a fancy name, it's called the Ringerverein, which is the name for German mafia, organized crime, which is kind of seen as an allegory for the Nazi Party. Kind of like very efficient, very just cut to the chase, and kind of like outside the law. They ignore rule of law kind of completely. They see power as theirs to take, and that they are like the strong-willed, capable members of society that are, have to do this. This is their moral right, and a lot of like moral justification.
Yeah, and I think you especially see that with the safecracker. He refuses to like acknowledge himself as a criminal. He puts himself as like the judge, right, at the end.
And he like enunciates a lot too. He's like shouting, yelling, and waving his arms. And I don't know how direct that would have been to Hitler, but like it's super interesting to see the line art of that.
Yeah. I was gonna go more with if we're talking about a movie as a city, right? And that's kind of what you want to get into, like. The people in the city are willing to scapegoat someone just immediately. Oh yeah, right.
Dude, that one
they're so crazy. Quick to violence, right? About with no evidence or very weak evidence.
The one guy,
and that just shows the latent like violence, suspicion, problems in Weimar.
Paranoia, at the time.
Yeah. And then the fact that this organized crime thing, like this is I've read Berlin Alexanderplatz, which is like from 1929 or whatever. Okay, and it's the same kind of. It's a very similar story where there's like not similar, but there's like it's all about organized crime and like criminals and like degenerate street life, right? And it's like I see a lot of similarities between those two in terms of what this movie's trying to portray. Like a lot of people who are desperate, a lot of people who are also very like they're just angry, right?
Oh yeah,
and they're a mob that's like not like they're not going to listen to your reason or restraint. So those are kind of some of the things that I see as like, they're not direct, like they kind of are like predicting Nazi
recipe for
anticipating it and showing what's there before and also
like
comes to fruition.
The fear for the children too, because that's a thing you see quite often in like kind of fascism and like reactionary politics is they strike at the heart, like they're coming for your children, right? Your children are not safe, and that's literally what's happening here in this movie, but also like, you know, more indicative of the times, just this panic, this fear, and looking for answers, scapegoats.
Yep.
Desperate for anything.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think we got two good readings. Sam, you have anything else to add on there?
No, not you guys are the ones that wrote papers on it.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't write at all about
the
Nazi stuff or the political messaging. I just wrote about the formal elements of the movie mostly.
I wrote about all three, baby.
Damn.
I can't write a good thesis, so I'm just like, I'm writing all three.
Write everything.
Yeah.
There was no depth, but he covered a lot of ground. That's what's important.
Pretty much. I was rereading that paper. It's rough.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what Critterpit is. It's no depth. It's just a lot of talking.
Kathy gave me a $100 for that, though. So, shit, boy.
Nice. Damn.
Let's go.
But I also wrote about how this movie is like just so like ahead of its time for police procedurals, and how like incorporated so much like emerging forensic science of the time into it, like pretty
the fingerprints
stuff.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what movie it kind of reminds me of, and you guys have seen it. It's a Critterpit. It's already a Critterpit EP, but High and Low.
High and Low.
So a lot of similar stuff. I mean, not exactly, but
just
both procedurals.
Yeah,
both really awesome.
Yeah.
That's about it. I think that was a good contribution, though. So hopefully, you guys.
No, that was good. We love callbacks. We love cameos to our other episodes.
Exactly. Maybe people should go listen to the
episode right now. Go check out that episode. I'm plugging it right now.
Great episode.
Let's go. I'm plugging. You write any papers lately?
No. I'm not publishing any journals yet.
Damn. Well, when you
just
do,
let us know. We'll get you on. We'll be your press tour.
Perfect.
Yeah, we will.
I'm actually we're gonna get this syndicated, this podcast, eventually. That's the goal.
Oh yeah, that's the plan.
I don't know how podcasting works, but I'm just pretending it's like radio. Yeah.
We'll see. You know, it's a scene I loved in this movie. The scene, and this is another one where they just take time to be silly and have fun. It's a scene where the police gather up all the criminals, and what I see as like kind of a pointless exercise. They gather up all the criminals. All their things. And it's just like 5 minutes of the criminals like roasting the cops and making fun of them. It's
I
so
love
much
the scene
fun,
where
man.
that guy gets by with his papers, then then Loman looks at the newspaper and he's like, unsolved crime, and then he pulls him back with
like, I think you should go.
The cane, and he's like, you're going to the
precinct.
Precinct.
So, one
that
guy
seems
gets
hilarious.
No
There's a lot of good moments like that, and you can just see like the director's hands all over the movie, which I really like.
I love a movie that isn't afraid to have a little fun, be a little
personality.
Silly.
This movie has a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of personality, a lot of fun,
and
but
like
it's
for
dark,
such a
scary. Taunting.
There was this awesome bit. I completely forgot about this. Thank God for notes, right? So during that whole sequence I just mentioned, right, we cut to a criminal who's been hiding like under a coat rack or something, right?
Yeah.
And he sneaks up and he opens this super secret escape tunnel. He goes in and like there's a cop standing directly on top of the escape crate, and
takes his hat off.
He just fucking throws it down. It's so much fun because I watch that and I'm thinking just like film student, right? Brain like. What's the point of this in the narrative? What's the point of this in the natural metaphor?
Not at all.
It's just fucking
just
fun,
a fun scene.
It's
not everything has to be a Chekhov's short story. Okay, you can have fun.
Exactly.
You can add random things to your story.
It's great,
like,
and I love it.
I feel like in a movie like that might make it drag normally, where it's like, this is like, why did we go to that? But this movie, it's just it flies by.
As we've mentioned, this is a movie about a city too, so I think stuff like that genuinely does have a place too. Genuinely does have a part of the plot, just the characters. So fuck yeah, Fritz.
Fuck yeah, Fritz.
Fuck yeah, Fritz, dude. I'm trying to think what else there is to talk about. I mean, there's so much to talk about. We didn't get all of it, of course, but what else is interesting?
Can't even read.
I mean, the fact that the police go to every extent they can to catch this guy, of like using public records, health records,
Yeah.
all that stuff. Like also shows that there's like some kind of authoritarian, anti-freedom stuff going on.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess we could talk about the ending scenes.
Oh yeah,
Now, I will tell you straight up right now. My third watch through, I only watched the first hour and 20 minutes, and I had to
get out of here.
You didn't get to the big old monologue.
No,
it's too bad. I have a fun fact about that final monologue.
For
the English and French versions, Peter Lorre, like they refilmed that scene with him doing it in English and in French.
Gotta watch that.
Yeah,
that'd be so
I've heard the lighting is like different. Like they did it at a different time, but it went back to do it. I'm not sure if Fritz Lang had any involvement with the English or French versions, but I know that Peter Lorre came back to redo
That's
it,
awesome.
like redo the scene, not just the dub.
He's an awesome actor.
He's so good.
Man.
Have you seen any of his other movies?
No,
he's in Casablanca.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which I guess counts.
He's good in that one. Yeah. It's like he always kind of plays the little foreigner, shifty character after this movie, but that's okay.
Gotta watch The Man Who Knew Too Much.
Yeah, I have the Criterion of that. I haven't seen it yet.
Have
you seen Maltese Falcon?
Yeah, Maltese Falcon is great.
He's good in that one. It's a good movie.
I didn't. Yeah,
you didn't like it?
I didn't realize he was in it. I watched it for like a film class a long time ago.
Okay.
I miss when Hollywood just had weird looking guys as like actors.
He's such a weird looking guy.
Like nowadays, it's all just like the Chris's, the Hemsworths, fucking whatever. We need more weird people.
Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth.
We need more characters. More like someone you'd see on the street. Right?
Yeah.
I don't need. I need more Lorrays, less Chris's.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, you gotta get. That's for independent movies, though. You know, blockbusters, they gotta have hot people in them, or like an ugly looking kind of villain character. Like I'm thinking, who's that guy who's in Saltburn or whatever? I haven't seen that.
Barry Keoghan,
Yeah,
Barry Keoghan or whatever. Yeah,
he's not. Barry Keoghan is kind of a weird looking guy.
He's just a weird looking guy, but he plays like a villain, at least in Killing a Sacred Deer. I'm not sure about Saltburn.
He plays a very sympathetic guy in Banshees of Inisherin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's very good in that.
I feel like a lot of the weirder looking guys don't get the sympathetic roles most of the time.
That's true. Barry Keoghan, he recently got cast as Joker, which is
holy shit.
He's going to be in a big movie.
Damn.
No more Joker.
You guys seen Joker? How many times did you guys see Joker when it was out in theaters?
Just once in theaters.
What?
Yeah. How many times did you see it?
I had a friend who made me go and watch it with him like 5 times.
Damn.
I wasn't into movies, but he was, and we were like really tight.
Yeah, are you a big fan of Joker now?
No.
As a result?
No, actually it had the opposite effect.
There's a Joker reference for me. Like Peter Lorre does the thing with his mouth where he's like trying to emote with his hand. You know?
Yeah.
Actually,
I wrote that in my notes. He's the Joker.
Joker
baby.
For real.
That's a rip-off of Death of James McDougal. Fuck's sake. Yeah, no, I think I would absolutely despise Joker if I was ever forced to rewatch it. So I'm saying that a comfortable like 5 out of 10, and it will be lower if I ever have to rewatch it.
Wait,
that's what that movie is.
10. Okay, collection. 10 out of 10 movie.
Do I have it 5 out of 10? What do I have Joker as? So that'd be embarrassing.
You have it at a perfect 5 out of 5.
5 out of 10.
I am me. This is me.
Yeah. I hadn't seen Taxi Driver at the time, so it was pretty lit. Or King of Comedy. So it's pretty sick.
Yeah. Once you see those 2 movies, you're like, okay, this is just derivative.
What is the point? What is the point of this movie? It's Taxi Driver and King of Comedy that looks worse, written worse, and needs to mention a Batman-related like cameo or mythos thing every 5 minutes. The most distracting bullshit ever.
How do you guys feel about Joaquin Phoenix?
I love Joaquin. I think he's
I like
great
Joaquin.
actor.
Yeah. Okay. He's a bit of a pretentious dude, but I do love him in some movies. Like Beau is Afraid is one of my favorite of the year.
The same thing in every movie is how I see it, though. Like I'm okay with it in some movies.
Not always.
Have you seen Walk the Line?
Very much like
he killed it in Walk the Line.
I actually haven't seen that. Yeah, it's a Johnny Cash one.
I kind of dislike that movie quite a bit, but like Joaquin's very good in it.
Even when he does it different, you don't like it.
Yeah. So, no, that movie just fucking is the most boring biopic ever.
Okay.
I wrote a whole paper about this as well. Tearing this apart. It's just, I don't know. I'm a very big Johnny Cash dick rider, so I got upset.
Right.
I got triggered.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have some respect for Joaquin, but I think he's a bit. I don't know. Not really doing it for me. I haven't seen Napoleon. I'm not. I don't want to see it because I'm not.
Brother Bear.
I was surprised by how much I liked Napoleon. I'll
really?
say that.
Okay.
I was expecting to be a very slow, like, historical biopic.
Yeah.
But no, it's very fun. It's very goofy, like way more goofy than I expected. Napoleon is such a simp.
Oh, guys, we gotta talk about which one I'm coming back for next. Can we do that here?
Yeah. To do that where you're always welcome to come on.
All right, let me pull up the Criterion spines, dude.
Before we move on to that though, ratings for
I gave this a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Would buy the Criterion.
Yeah. Solid 9 out of 10.
Yeah. Would definitely buy the Criterion. Why haven't
you know what's sad? I told you guys I bought those movies. They were like $25. I saw M there for $25.
Oh,
but it's like I didn't buy it because it's like like how some Criterions, especially when they're older, they're like really thick for no reason. Have you seen that? It was one of those ones, and I don't really want one of those ones, so I'm just gonna.
I kind of like the thick guys. I've got.
Damn, maybe I'll pick it up. How about that? I'll pick it up for you. Okay.
No, I'm in Edmonton right now. Which revolver was it at?
The Westmount one. They have a ton of stuff there. Like they have Shock Corridor as well. They have Shortcuts, $25.
Oh, Shock Corridor!
Oh my god, I need to. Okay,
go there right now. I was gonna pick them up for one of my other friends, but I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
I know you love those movies, so
I do. Shock Corridor is so good, and Shortcuts is also great.
Shortcuts is amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
It's so good we brought it up twice.
Damn, this is episode 30. I just realized it's a milestone this episode.
Yeah, 30. We're making good progress.
Damn. Yeah.
Only 1,000 to go.
I feel like these. We could do these more frequently. I'm down to come on the show more often if you guys are.
We'd love to. This has been a great episode. Yeah.
Awesome.
This has been a very good episode. What was I gonna say? You a Tarkovsky guy, my friend?
I actually am. Yeah, I like Tarkovsky. I haven't seen The Silence or Andrei Rublev, and I've been wanting to see that movie for almost 2 years. Me and my friend, we were like, "This movie looks awesome. We're gonna watch it together."
Rublev's in 4
break, and then it's just been 2, 3, 4 breaks from school in a row where we haven't watched it. So
yeah. Well, now you're on a permanent break.
Graduated. That's right.
I got Andrei Rublev's 34, so that's coming up quick here.
I'd be down for that one.
I quite like Tarkovsky.
If you don't have any other specialists in that area, I
believe so.
No, I don't think we have anyone for Rublev yet.
Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna watch The Silence, and I'll watch Andrei Rublev, or is it The Sacrifice? Sacrifice, maybe.
Is that
That's Tarkovsky. I can't remember. Is it It's The Sacrifice? Yeah, I'm gonna watch that in preparation. I'm gonna
also
really knowledgeable.
I just saw you bought Diabolique, which is coming up at 35. So if you'd like to hop on for that one,
that sounds good. Yeah. I'll become a Clouseau expert as well.
Are you a big fan of Michael Bay? We have Armageddon coming up.
Yes, sir.
Fortunately, but I'll try to.
That's gonna be a big ad.
I'll down for the 34 to 36. Maybe we could do something like that.
That'd be great.
That'd be good.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, after that, it's looking... Dude, get me on for The Red Shoes right now, though. Like, put me down for that one. That's one of my favorite movies. I don't know if you have anyone else who likes that movie, but...
Not yet.
Goes crazy.
For the most part, we only have, like, the French and Japanese episodes booked up because...
Yeah. We have a friend who was born 5 minutes from Japan and Quebec. So he's all in for the French and Japanese movie.
Okay, well, get me for the Italians and the and
I love that way of
breaking for the Germans,
just
dude. Put me down
segregating them up.
Yeah, exactly. By country.
I love that.
Monopolizing the countries,
yeah. No, that's fantastic. Best episode ever, I think.
I think so. This has been historic.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
So many pieces came together. I'm so glad.
This has been a lot of fun. I really
Graham really wanted to say hi to you, David. Graham really wanted to say hi to you, David.
We'll have a little Q&A after. We could bring him in for a Q&A. I don't know.
Just real quick here for like 2 minutes. He really wanted to say hi.
What Q&A?
Come in, Graham.
He'll hop in so quickly. I see him online in the sidebar thing, just waiting. It was so funny when David was talking in the chat. I saw like all of the Critterpit like online things pop up.
I saw that.
Like everyone went online. I've never seen that happen before.
Yeah, it's pretty much just Graham, you, and I on this server.
It felt like historic. And then when you joined, David, a few nights ago, it was pretty late, and I got this notification on my phone that was just David is here now. It was like the most ominous shit. I love it.
Well, I'm glad y'all fucking with me because I'm fucking with y'all. So
right,
that's perfect. I'm so glad it worked out. I was a little nervous for this episode. I won't lie. We built it up so much. Like
right,
I can't. Yeah,
you were telling your fans for months. You're like, guys, this is gonna be the one. It's gonna be the one where we crush it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Crushed? Maybe. This might have been crushed.
I think so.
I think we did good.
Do you have any recommendations for movies? We sometimes do that at the end.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should think of something. Let me just quickly think some German movies. How about that? Some German movies.
All right.
Well, I'd recommend. All right. Well, I'd recommend The Big Heat. That's one. That's a good segue if you like noir.
Yeah.
And Fritz Lang.
And Fritz.
Yeah, and then I'd recommend. I guess I'd recommend The Maltese Falcon because it has Pierre Lorre. Let's see. I'd recommend anything by Herzog. I'd recommend like.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know how related this should be, but maybe a series. Okay, High and Low. Go watch High and Low. Okay. Go watch the Critterpit High and Low because it's a procedural, really good.
Yeah, do 2 in a row. It'll be perfect.
Yeah, and I would recommend Alice in the Cities. It's another kind of city, but it's a road movie. Wim Wenders. Kind of you get to see a little bit of Germany as like a place, which is cool.
And then I love Wim Wenders.
You know what I'd recommend because we're talking city movies.
Yeah,
and this one might be a snooze fest, but I'm recommending Roma by Fellini. Because that's like there's no characters in it. It's just a movie where it goes to a bunch of different places in Rome at different time periods, and you get to see Fellini is a character in it, his young self. And then him as a director, there's a little self-insert, which is fun. But that's cool. That's a good one. I mean, it's a bit of a snooze fest. It's kind of hard to watch, but there's a lot of fun. It's a weird one. It's like I really like the ideas. I like watching it, but it's also I can see how boring it would be if you're not into it. So yeah. But those would maybe be my recommendations going all over the place, but staying a little bit related to the episode. Yeah.
I have another question for you. What are some anticipated films for David of coming up 2023, 2024?
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty bad at watching stuff that's coming up, but there's a lot of great stuff. I watched Ferrari yesterday.
What do you think? I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I'm a big Michael Mann fan. And it follows the Michael Mann formula generally, where it's like a person who's really good at their job, who's a man, and then he has like family trouble in the background and then he has to balance that with being really good at his job. And usually the guy is kind of a dick. That sort of thing. And so there's that because Ferrari is famously a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
It's good. It's pretty good. I didn't like I got a bunch of phone calls during the movie about some other stuff, so I didn't get to really experience it fully. But at the same time, it felt like I was in a Michael Mann movie.
Okay. You're fully living it.
I was living it. But yeah, I guess I would recommend it. It's not really that action packed, which for me, as a Michael Mann fan, you kind of need.
I love the trailer.
But the historical reenactment stuff, like getting the cars right and the locations right, was pretty impressive. So,
how's Adam Driver in it?
Sorry,
how's Adam Driver? Is he a good Ferrari?
Oh yeah, he's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Is he gonna get the Oscar?
I want to see Godzilla -1. That's what that's called, right?
Yeah, I know Ethan loved Godzilla -1. I haven't seen it yet, but
yeah, I get a lot of rave reviews from people on my letterbox that I follow. So
yeah,
What else is coming out that's pretty sick? I guess the new Dune when that comes out, I'll see that. I did like the first one, so.
Me too. I'm a big Dune fan, and I'm so curious to see how he's going to do the baby. You've read Dune, the book?
I actually read about half of the first book, and then I stopped.
It gets so much better in the second half. Like, not that the writing's bad or anything in the first, but it just like it gets action packed and like actually exciting.
Okay. Dude, that's a controversial thing because all my friends like Dune, and I'm the one guy who didn't like it enough to.
I think you just got to finish it. It took me like 3 years to finish reading Dune, but it was like 3 years was the first half, and then like a month was the second half. Yeah,
I'm converting like my entire friend group to the Dune agenda, man. I'm slowly, one by one, getting them to read Dune and get hooked on it. It's a good feeling.
Nice.
I'm a prophet. I love Dune. Read like all of them. So
there's a Furiosa is coming out in 2024.
Furiosa looks okay.
I like the first Mad Max, so I'll see it.
Yeah,
Nosferatu. That could be fun.
The trailer looked visually significantly worse than the first one, but
it did. But it's just a trailer, you know. Things can change.
But also the Fury Road trailer looked really good too, though. So I don't know. It did. We watched both of them at Jake's the other day, back to back.
Yeah.
Guess I'm excited for
Poor Things. Is Poor Things out yet?
Oh, yeah. It is.
I went to see Poor Things. It was fantastic.
That's what I want to see. Yeah.
Oh my lord, I'm so jealous.
Yeah. So yeah, there's some cool stuff coming out.
It's been a fantastic.
I'm pretty bad at watching new movies in general. I usually just watch historical, like stuff that's old on Criterion or whatever. But
there's just too many movies, just generally.
Yeah. Why not watch the good ones? That's generally the approach I have. But
I also just realized it was like Christmas 2 days ago. How was your guys' holidays? How was all that?
Pretty good. I got some books and some clothing. I didn't ask for movies this year because
you knew you would go to just buy them.
I knew I'd just go and buy them myself again anyways. That's what I did last. I just bought them beforehand last Christmas, and then my mom wrapped them for me, which is a little bit lame.
The way to do it. So. I just give my mom the exact list of Criterions I want.
Nice. Yeah. What did you get?
I got the Oppenheimer book, The American Prometheus.
Oh,
I really
nice.
loved Oppenheimer, and I'm really excited to go through that. It's a meaty boy, but that's gonna be riveting. My brother got me like an Abbey Road vinyl. Never listened to these guys, the Beatles. You guys heard the Beatles before? They're not bad.
I think they're an up and
blow
coming
your mind, dude.
Yeah, they will blow your mind.
It's
their final album. It's an interesting place to start, you know.
It's good though.
It is.
Been sleeping on the Beatles for a while, I guess. He also got me my brother got me like a little double-decker bus in Lego. Mm-hmm. So a lot of British stuff.
He's trying to tell you something.
I don't like what he's trying to tell me.
The British are coming.
The British are coming.
They're coming back for what's theirs.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul. Paul review.
But yeah, shout out. This was a great app.
Oh, one more recommendation. Because fuck it, why not? Heat.
Yeah,
there you go. I'm just gonna say
Heat is awesome. Have you seen Thief?
Yes.
Thief is so sick, dude.
It's awesome. I love how the climax of the movie is him drilling into a safe vault.
Yeah,
like that's or at least one of the main moments of the movie. Is just that there's no like violence or anything. It's just get to see a drill doing its job.
Movie looks so electric. Just how they shoot those heist scenes. It just looks almost like Alien. I don't know. It just looks awesome.
Yeah, dude, get me on the Thief episode. Can we just record that tomorrow? Like, fuck it. Yeah. Can we do them out of order at this point? Start now.
There's a Thief Criterion, right?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Is it the cover I'm thinking? Oh, that's an okay cover, but there's this one cover for Thief that I've seen. I think it's the Letterbox one that just goes so hard.
Let's see. Also, the Tangerine Dream soundtrack is amazing. I mean, that's
the Letterbox poster.
I love Tangerine Dream.
Fucking incredible. I wish that was the Criterion cover.
Poster. Yeah, Thief is amazing. I gotta bump that up to 4.5 real quick. Sorry, I just forgot.
I got it at a 4, but fuck it, 4.5. Let's bump that up.
I still gotta watch Thief. Thief's been on my list for a long time.
Man, just that looks so good. Yeah, Heat and Thief and Manhunter. You seen Manhunter?
I can't find it anywhere, so I don't usually do. Sorry,
Piracy.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of piracy, but
neither do I.
Oh,
Nobody.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
I
Buy
don't
all
believe
my
in it.
Critterpit does not endorse piracy. We also
No.
don't do it. So
Never would.
Anti-piracy.
Yeah.
I believe death penalty.
Yeah,
for
that seems fair.
piracy. It's very fair.
What if you just can't help it,
think
though?
we could have
What
a
if you just
similar
can't help
jury.
doing piracy? It's not your
What
fault.
if you have a compulsion?
pathological
Help
need.
it. I just black
You
out,
choose
and then suddenly I'm on.
Anytime you
there.
see a search bar, you just hit the
Yeah.
I just
hit
black
soak
out.
today
And
or whatever.
computers. When I wake up, my computer's full of torrents of Werner
Yeah.
Herzog films. It's crazy.
It's out of my control.
Can't control it. Yeah. Shout out.
Shout out. All right,
Well,
guys. Well, I gotta get
I don't
going.
think-
So
Yeah, Graham's gonna be sad. He missed you. What a
don't
Yeah.
worry. We'll be on the Discord another time.
for sure.
Yeah.
He will catch you again.
Thanks
This
for
has been a
coming on,
great
David.
episode.
It's been
Yeah,
awesome.
thank you.
Thanks
A
for
lot of
having me,
fun.
guys.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I will stop Craig.